Hi, today I'm going to read about Thomas Edison, written by Johnny C. Watcher. Focus question: what traits describe Thomas Edison, and how did they affect his actions? A curious boy. From an early age, Thomas Edison loved to question things. He spent his whole life learning why and how things worked. Once he knew how things worked, he tried to figure out how to make them work better. Thomas Edison invented or improved over 1,000 things, some of which we use every day. Many people think of him as one of the greatest American inventors of all the time. Young Al, Thomas Alva Edison was born in February 11th, 1847. Al, as he was called as a boy, did not do well in school. In those days, students memorized facts. They didn't explore and ask their own questions, which is what Al loved to do. Al's mother took her son out of the school and taught him some at home. She taught him to love to read. His father gave Al 10 cents for every classic book he read. Al started to work on the railroad when he was 12 years old. He sold fruits and newspapers. Al used the money he earned to buy books and science supplies. He set up a lab in the baggage car until an accidental fire ended his experiment. Also around his time, Al lost most of his hearing. As an adult, he would say someone grabbed him by the ears and pulled him onto the train. When he was 15, Al saved a young boy's life. The boy was about to run over by a boxcar when Al grabbed him. The child's thankful father offered to teach Al how to be a telegraph operator. As Al grew older, he traveled around the country as a telegraph operator. He wanted to call Tom and continue to be called Tom and continue to be interested in science. He spent much of the money he earned on books and supplies. Edison, the inventor. After a few days, Edison decided to become a full inventor. Some of his early inventions were improvement on the telegraph. For example, he found a way to send two messages and receive two messages at the same time. Early telegraph could only send or receive one. Edison received his first patent for an electric volt counter in 1869. The invention did not do well. Edison continued to invent. He said he would not give up, no matter what would happen. Let's find out. Again, did you know? The telegraph let people communicate before the invention of the telephone. It uses a code of dots and dashes, or short and long beeps to form letters. Did you know? The telegraph let people communicate before the inventions of the telephone. It uses a code of dots and dashes, or short and long beeps to form letters. A new lab. Edison found partners and began to build and sell some of his inventions. In 1876, he built a lab in Menlo Park, New Jersey. It was the first for-profit research lab in the world. People call it the Invention Factory. There, Edison worked for many hours each day, and many of his workers stayed with him just as long. Edison sketched his ideas in notebooks. He gave the sketches to his worker, who then created the inventions. Edison filled 3,500 notebooks with ideas for the inventions. Not of all these ideas worked. Edison continued to work. He said he needed to find out all the ways, so they didn't work to find out the way he did it. Important inventions. The telephone was invented in 1876, but it didn't work well. People had to yell into the phone to make themselves heard. The further away the telephone were, the worse it was. In 1877, Edison and his team developed a way to make a caller voice louder and clearer, even at a long distance. Edison family. Edison married Mary Stilwell in 1871. They had 3 children, Marion, Thomas Jr., and William. Mary died in 1884. Edison married his second wife, Minna Miller, in 1886. They had 3 children, Madeline, Charles, and Theodore. Edison also wanted to find a way to record words and play them back. He invented a machine called the phonograph. The first thing Edison recorded was Mary had a little lamb. Some didn't believe the machine worked. They thought someone was talking in another room. The phonograph was quite exciting to people in the 1800s. Edison became famous, but he could not figure out what to do with his inventions. All his experiments failed. Years later, after many improvements, the phonograph became popular and a way to record and listen to the music. A special project. For many years, people had to find a light for a practical way to use electricity to make lights. Many inventors created the light bulbs. The bulbs either burn too brightly or dimly, or burn out too fast. In 1878, Edison decided to solve this problem. Edison and his team worked around the clock. They had to find materials for the filament, the part of the light bulbs that glows. They tried thousands of materials until they found out one that worked. Edison opened the lab to visitors. People were amazed when they saw a lab brightly lit with electric lights. Edison team then had to create a special electrical system that could light a building and even a city. In 1881, Edison moved to New York City to help start with the first electric power plant. In time, many places replaced gas or oil lamps with electric bulbs. The War of the Current. In the 1880s and the 1890s, Edison was involved in a competition with another electric company. Edison's method of delivering electricity was called direct current, or DC. The another company said the method called alternating current, or AC, was better. AC was invented by Nikola Tesla. AC eventually became more popular. Other exciting ideas. In 1887, Edison moved to a larger lab in the West Orange, New Jersey. Around that time, he was shown that the machine that quickly played many still imagined one after another. The things in the imagine looked as if they were moving. Edison asked one of his workers, William Dixon, to work on two machines. One machine would record the imagine, and the other would show them. Dixon and Edison invented the kinetograph, a motion picture camera. They also invented the kinetoscopes. This projector allows one person to watch the movie through a small hole. Edison tried to link sound with the image of these new inventions. He found it too hard to get the sound and the pictures to match, so his film was signed. A remarkable man. Edison continued to put ideas into his notebook and work with his team to build his inventions. Some of his other inventions, including machines for mining, improved batteries, and new use for some. During his life, Edison had 1,093 patents. Which was a record at the time. He worked until he was more than 80 years old. Thomas Edison died on October 18th, 1931. President Herbert Hoover asked people to turn out the lights for a short time. He asked them to think about the great changes Thomas Edison had made in their life. As Edison once said, we did all the things we are capable for doing. We would astound ourselves. Connections. Writing. Research to learn more about one of the Thomas Edison inventions. Create a brochure about the invention to share with your classmates. Social studies. Make a timeline of Thomas Edison's life. Include at least 5 of his inventions of your timeline.
Good job.
Goodbye, everyone. Saturday, thanks for watching. Have a great day.